everyone, today I'm here to film my September wrap-up. So September was a really good reading month for me. At the tail end, I was really struggling with did I read all the books I wanted to read? Did I read enough? And I think I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself to read all of the books. As far as right now, my goal was to read 40 books for this entire year. I'm up to 75 now, so I've read my fair share. So I'm going to try to take it a little bit slow for the rest of the year. I say that, but my October TBR is out of control because I want to read all of the spooky things. But I think for November, December, I'm just gonna go at a moderate pace. But either way, September was a great reading month. I read 8 books, and a lot of them were new releases, some of my most anticipated releases of the whole year, and I really enjoyed the majority of all the books I read. So I'm excited to tell you about them. So as always, I'm gonna start with my least favorite book I read, working up to my favorite. So my least favorite book that I read this month was Girls Made of Snow and Glass by Melissa Barshot-Dost. This is a new series, probably standalone, I'm not sure. It's kind of like a darker retelling of Snow White, and I really wanted to love this book. I just didn't. We really get an emphasis on the Snow White character and the evil queen, and really delve into the relationship more than the darker fantasy elements, I would say. I really thought this book had great character growth, but not much happened. The plot wasn't as amazing as I wanted it to be. So overall, I just felt kind of underwhelmed with this book. So I only give it a 3 out of 5. I would say more about it, but I have honestly forgotten a lot. So that just goes to show you that I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to. But I don't know. I guess I'd recommend it if you're really hardcore into fairy tale retellings or Snow White retellings. Definitely check it out. If not, maybe pass. I hate doing bad reviews, but I'm just trying to be honest with you guys. The next book is Feral Youth, and this is by Sean David Hutchinson, as well as 9 or 10 other authors. This is all about these kids that are in this camp that is kind of for troubled youth, and this is their last-ditch effort, and each of the chapters is a different story from one of the kids, and a lot of it's kind of just made-up stories, or some of it's from their life. Either way, it was a really good book. I will say, I guess it's one of my favorite anthologies, but it was a good one, I will say. It's a perfect book to read, I think, during this time of year, because some of the stories were kind of spooky. Not necessarily spooky, but some were about aliens, one was about kind of a ghost, and I really enjoyed this for the most part. I would definitely recommend it. I gave it a 4 out of 5, so I really enjoyed it. If you're really big into short story collections, check it out. If you're interested in a lot of these authors, because there's a lot of amazing ones in here, definitely check it out. And yeah, I would say read it during this time, because it definitely gives you that fall vibe, which I really enjoy. And you know what? I skipped a book. I actually listened to a book this month, so I don't own a physical copy. That's why I skipped it. I listened to Stranger in the House by Sherry De La Pena, and I like this one a lot. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. I think the ending pissed me off so much that I gave it a 3.5. I think about it, I was like, didn't see it coming. Didn't see it coming at all. This is a domestic thriller. It's about this woman that goes to this part of town at night, and she witnesses or does something, and then she gets in a car wreck, and she can't remember what happened. So the whole book is uncovering what happened that night, what her past life was kind of like, how her husband's dealing with it, how her best friend's dealing with it. It was really, really addicting, I will say. The audiobook was good. I was enthralled in it. I thought it was going one direction and it wouldn't go in another direction, and the ending, it's not so much a scary thriller at all. It's a domestic thriller, so it's more what's your husband and wife really like? But I would recommend it. I would probably say it's closer to 4 out of 5 because it was good. The ending pissed me off so much, but it was a good ending, I will say that. The next book I gave 4.5 out of 5 to, and that is Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. This book was so good. I loved it. This is a kind of suburban fiction, if you will. It's about these 2 families that live in Shaker Heights, Ohio. One family moves in new, and they really break up the status quo. And that's all I can really tell you about this book. It's got a lot going on in it. Just know at the core of it, it's about these families and how they're very, very different and how they stand for different things, and how their other kids get entangled, and I just really enjoy it. Celeste Ng really knows how to write families and the dynamic of them and how different they are, and some have problems and things like that. So I love this book. It definitely makes you think. It definitely puts you on 2 different sides at several points during the story. So amazing book. The next book I also gave a 4.5 out of 5 to, and that is Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. I have a review for actually the rest of the books I'm going to talk about, so that's awesome. You can see it right here. This book, I went into it, I'm not gonna hold it up, it's heavy, not expecting to love it as much as I did, because there was so much controversy going into this book because it was focusing on Kale and everybody's not liking Kale. I'm a huge Kale fan. I always have been, and I've always wanted like his redemption arc, and he definitely got it in this book. It was so amazing, so good. The only reason why it's not a full 5 out of 5 is because it took me forever to read. The first half goes very, very slow because we're in a completely different continent. We have new characters. It's like a whole new world to build up, and I am very slow when it comes to that stuff. Like, I have to really take my time with it. So I wish it moved a little bit quicker, but other than that, like, the second half definitely made up for it. It was so amazing. So I have a whole review, like I said. I gush about it because I just love Kale. Kale's always and forever love Kale. And these next 3 books, I mean, let's just say it, I gave them all 5 out of 5. No shame in my game. Like I said, September was a phenomenal reading month. So these are not in any order. I gave them 5 out of 5, so take it as you will. These 3 were my favorites. I'd say, honestly, Tower of Dawn. These last 4 I'm talking about are my favorite of the whole month. So amazing reading month. So the first one I gave 5 out of 5 to, technically, is One Dark Throne by Kendare Blake. Again, a review up for it right here. This is the second book in the 3 Dark Crowns series, and I loved it. So I really enjoyed the first book. I gave the first book a 4 out of 5. My complaint was that the first half was very, very slow. A lot of buildup had to happen. This one was so much faster. It picked up right where the first one left off, and it was action-packed, and I loved it. So much happened in this book. If you're unfamiliar with this series, it's about these 3 girls that are queens, and they each have different powers, and pretty much they're separated at a young age, and then at the age of 16, they have to kill one another. So whatever girl's left standing is actually the new queen, and that's what this whole book is about. These 3 sisters that have to kill one another. It is so good. Loved it so much. So check out my review. The next book I gave a 5 out of 5 to is Warcross by Marie Lu. This book has been getting so much buzz lately, so I was very apprehensive to go into it, and I was glad. I loved it as much as I did. Such a fun book. It's a sci-fi novel about a girl named Amika Chain, who is a bounty hunter within this game called Warcross. It's like a virtual reality game, and it's pretty much a big capture the flag game. And she gets invited to go to the championships to be like a hacker within it, and it is so good. I also review it for this one if you want to check it out. This is perfect for if you're a gamer, even if you're not a gamer. I'm not a huge gamer. I loved this book. If you loved Ready Player One, you need to read this book. Definitely has a lot of parallels with it. It was just such a fun sci-fi book that will make you smile, and it was a fun ride. I say that all the time, but it really was a fun ride. And the last book, I'm just going to put last because it's the most recent read that I also gave a 5 out of 5 to, is Invictus by Ryan Grandin. Oh, I knew I was going to love this book because I love the author. She wrote Wolf by Wolf duology, which I loved. This is another sci-fi kind of fun book, only this one's about time travel. This book follows our character Faraway, who was born outside of time, and in his time in the future, time travel exists. You can very much do it. You can be on this crew with the ship and go back in time to kind of record the events that happened, you know, in history. And Faraway actually fails his time travel exam, so he can't do any of that stuff. So he gets offered this position to have his own ship called the Invictus and pick his own crew, and they just go back in time and steal like artifacts from history. Like they go to the Titanic, they go to Rome, they go to other places. It is such a fun, awesome book. It's comparable to Firefly, which I can't attest to because I haven't watched that. I know, but it was such a fun book. I will be filming a review for this very, very soon, so be on the lookout for that, but I loved it. Like, if you love time travel books, if you love kind of sci-fi-ish books where it talks about space and, you know, the parallel universes that go on and time travel and jumping and all that stuff, check out this book. So amazing. So I loved it so much. 5 out of 5. So there you have it. Those are the 8 books I read this month. An amazing reading month. Honestly, a lot of these books I talked about today are probably going to be on my favorites of the whole year because they were amazing. So if you have read any of these books, please let me know your thoughts and opinions. Did you like them as much as I did? Did you not? And how was your reading month? Did you do really good for September or really bad? Either way, I think you did great. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.